Hi everybody, this is a quick video to show you how to create your own templates in TransactionDesk. So a lot of you guys are familiar with how our templates work. Keller Williams has created templates for you that we have set up behind the scenes that you're able to utilize in TransactionDesk when you create a transaction, whether that's for listing paperwork or to write up a purchase offer. So when you are in TransactionDesk and you create your transaction, I just want to show everybody these templates here that exist. GRAR also has their version of templates that are saved in here. And then you've got a couple of KW options as well that we have gone ahead and created for you. Some of us just prefer to have our own templates. So maybe when you choose the purchase packet, you always find yourself deleting a lot of the additional forms in there that you don't always use. So for example, we'll go ahead and just look at what is inside the KW purchase template so that you guys have an idea of kind of what I mean. And a lot of the times I see people clicking through here and they get to these forms and you might not need all of these. So maybe you want to create your own template that just includes more of the standard stuff that you're using with mostly all offers that you're writing. And then you can go ahead and add in any forms on an individual basis if you did need the well and septic or something. But you can see that our KW templates do include pretty much anything you could need while writing an offer. If you'd maybe prefer to have a template that was more of just the standard stuff and then adding in a property inspection addendum if you need it for that particular offer, you could go ahead and do that. So to create your own templates, we're actually going to go back home. And then we're going to head into our settings. Nope, I'm just kidding. Then we're going to head into templates over here on the left-hand side. So we've got all these different features over here in TransactionDesk on the left. If you don't remember what these little icons mean, you can use this arrow, and it's going to give you the names of everything. So when we click into templates, you're going to choose transaction templates. And again, here's all of the templates that are already created for you that you're able to use. So you guys can't edit these because they're created by us or created by GRAR. So you're not able to delete or add documents to these templates. But what you can do is create your own template up here in the top right corner by clicking add. And maybe I want to call this my purchase packet or my purchase template so that it's easy to distinguish, or you could call it Abby's or whatever makes sense for you guys, so you're able to just identify at the time of choosing the template which one is yours versus KW's or GRAR's. So I'm choosing the type. So in my case, I'm just going to quick create a residential sale template. You do not need to add a description. If you want to add in more details about what would be included in this template, you could do that. So I'll go ahead and hit save. And then as I scroll down here, I've got these little drop downs. So we don't utilize checklists in our office. I typically don't add anything in here. Contacts would be contacts that you wanted created upon every single new transaction. So if you wanted a contact to be added into every single transaction that you created for a purchase, you could do that. Typically that doesn't make a ton of sense because attorneys are changing, clients are changing, but if there is somebody that you want created as a contact every single time, you could go ahead and add them here. And then we've got documents and folders and forms. So in the documents section, the difference between documents and forms in TransactionDesk is a document is, for example, our KW franchise. So GRAR, since they create forms that are for all brokerages versus Keller Williams might have some forms that are required by you. Those forms that are brokerage specific are going to have to be uploaded in the documents section because they're not templated by GRAR. Anything that's a GRAR standard or GRAR specific form that all of us across the board are using, that is what you're going to find in forms. So those have already been templated and they're fillable for you. So in my head, I'm going to think about, all right, what are the KW specific forms that I might need for a purchase that aren't going to be included in what GRAR offers me? And off the top of my head, I immediately think of the KW franchise that we are all required to have our client sign, and that as the agent we need to sign. And then maybe something like the inspection waiver that I might be using frequently. Again, that's a KW specific form that we've created for you, so you're not going to find that inspection waiver in the forms. So to get your documents in here, we've actually got to download them and re-upload them. So what I would do would be just hop into KW Rock Resources, where we have a tab for you called KW Forms, and then you can decide which KW forms you'd like to add into this template. Again, I know off the top of my head, I'd always be using my KW franchise, and then I also would frequently probably be using my inspection waiver. There might be some other documents in here that you guys use frequently that are KW forms, so if you'd like to add those as well, go ahead. But I'm just going to scroll down here and download the inspection waiver. And then I'm also going to go into the franchise folder and download the KW franchise and affiliated business arrangement disclosure. That's a fun one to say. So I've got both of those downloaded, and then I'm just going to come back into my templates and use this add button to add a document. And then I can go ahead and upload right here my two documents. So there's my waiver. Okay, so now I've got both of my documents saved in here, and I can move on to forms. And if you guys missed the video that I did on layouts, layouts are very helpful when it comes to the documents that we've uploaded here, because you can actually create layouts that you can apply to these documents when you get to the signing. So you're not having to always remember to drag in buyer's signatures and initials in the right place. So definitely make sure you watch that layouts video to help you with the filling and signing of these guys. When we get into forms here, this is where we're going to go ahead and hit the add button, and I can either search at the top for the forms that I need, or I can just go ahead and click into the folder that they would be in. So maybe I would go into all purchase related. I personally like to pull up the checklist, the purchase checklist or compliance checklist that we use. That can also be found on KW Rock Resources, but it kind of helps to jog my memory of the documents that I'm, going to need. So first off, I know I'm going to need my purchase contract. I can never remember what they call it in here, if it's just under purchase. It sure is. So this is pulling in a list of purchase contracts. So here's my purchase and sale contract for residential property. I'm going to go ahead and add that. It's going in my basket. And then I'm just going to go down the line and think about, okay, what else am I going to need signed for this purchase offer? I know I'm going to need an agency disclosure. Let's find buyer side. Oh, they're all just buyer and seller now. Okay, that's great. So we're just going to choose disclosure, agency disclosure, buyer and seller. Oh, that does say seller side. Here's buyer side right here. I don't think it makes much of a difference. It's the same exact form. So we'll add that to our basket. I'm going to need the fair housing form. Here's the fair housing disclosure. We'll add that. Obviously the PCD and the letter are going to be supplied by the listing agent, so we don't need that, but maybe I need to use a personal property often, so we'll stick that in there. Maybe an all parties agreement, just to have in case we've got a FHA or a VA offer that we're writing up. You could throw in maybe a release form. I don't know if it's under removal or release in here. So maybe if I do have an inspection, I could throw in a removal. Oops. Sorry guys, I hit add all forms, so I'm going to go back in and keep adding. You can throw in the conditional removal. We're going to throw in the inspection addendum. And again, you get to choose what you want in your template. So it's totally up to you what you want to go in here. But it might make your life a little bit easier. Okay. So we'll call it good. You guys could add additional things in there if you want the well and septic in there, if you want the addendum for the electric utilities agricultural document in there or form in there, you could add that. but I'm just going to add some of the quick forms. And you can see here now when I click forms, here's everything. The other thing that you guys can do, I'll show you here, is you can pull up the form and you can go in and actually start to check your boxes. So if you know that certain boxes always need to be checked, or you know, you're always going to say buyer as delivered or will deliver, you can go in and check off any of the boxes or fill in any of the areas. Maybe Abby, Halter, I can't remember what goes here. I haven't written a contract in a long time. But you can go in and fill in the fields that you want to remain filled every time you write a contract. So really kind of cool. You can save once you've added any of that stuff to your forms that you want to stay there all the time. You can go ahead and come back. It's going to automatically save this template for you. There isn't a button to hit save. So once you add your documents and forms and do any filling that you want, you're good to go. And then I'm just going to show you guys once you get back to the home screen here, if we did want to add a new transaction, we can then, we've got a lot of tests. Then we can go in and we're going to see our template now in the drop down. So pretty cool. You could obviously do this for your listing paperwork as well. You could have a version for land or a version for leases. If you're doing a lot of rentals or leases, you could create templates for whatever you guys want. So I hope this is helpful for you, and definitely let me know if you have any questions.